Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. For all of you out there who really think that the United States of America is still the freest country in the world with a free media and free press, defended or protected by the First Amendment of the U.S. or to the U.S. Constitution, you are baboons. Why? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how a journalist was not allowed to ask a question, and he's removed from the press conference of the Jewish Foreign Minister of the United States of America or Secretary of State, Blinken, when he's going to be removed by armed guards, 3 of them. And why? Because he wants to ask a question. America the free. I come from a country who I lived under the so-called communist system. And they were telling us about the Americans and the free press and how fantastic they are and so on. Even after the revolution, when we started learning about the freedom of the press in the United States of America, which is fake as many other things here, I realized that, wait a second, this is just baboonish. I still encounter Romanians who tell me, yeah, man, the Americans, yeah, the free press. Romanians who also lived in the United States of America or have been living for decades, they tell me, yes, the freedom of the press in the United States of America. I'm going to show you 1 or 2 videos of this journalist removed because he wants to ask a question. And his fellow journalists in the room don't do anything. Remember Solzhenitsyn when he talked about the Gulag Archipelago? He said, when those black vans in the Soviet Union with those guys, the same guys like Blinken, the commissars, when they were showing up, the NKVD, to arrest these guys, the population did not do anything. They were just listening and said, oh, I hope it's not me next. The same thing is here. I'm going to show you. Here. And who else but Russia Today, the evil guys. This is from the 16th of January 2025. American journalist handcuffed and forcibly removed from Blinken's last presser, videos plural. Sam Husseini was dragged out, like right there, I'm going to show you, by armed guards after trying to ask a question about Gaza. So Husseini sounds a little bit kind of like, Blinken is Jewish and he wants to talk about Israel in Gaza. Independent journalist Sam Husseini was dragged away from U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's final press briefing after trying to ask a question about the Gaza ceasefire. Blinken claimed that the past 4 years have been successful diplomacy, including the truce, even though both Israel and Hamas have President-elect Donald Trump the credit for the deal. This is going to be shaky. In a video posted by Riam Grim of Drop Site News, several uniformed diplomatic security services DSS officers can be seen approaching Husseini, who is seated in the briefing room. Get your hands off me. Answer my damn question. Here's the guy. You cannot have a gun, but they can. No, I think we should carry a gun and defend ourselves. Right here, let me show you. So this is one of the videos. Ready, my friends? And please, see over there, he's got a gun. Right over there on his right side. I hope he's not going to use it as the guy who used it in the January 6th riots. Remember? All right, let's see. Is the sound good? Let's get it on.
You pontificate about a free press? You pontificate about a free press? You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I am asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I'm asking questions.
Look at fellow journalists.
Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders. You.
Look at the weasel journalist in the back. I hope it's not me. Let's look another. So this is the Jewish Secretary of State of America, right there, working for the U.S. interest, mind you. And here he is again.
Carry in my pocket the names of those
Pistol.
who have been arbitrarily detained and unfairly held hostage.
Pistol.
Unjustly held hostage, and bringing them home, returning them to their families, returning them to their loved ones. Finally,
get your hands off me. 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 Answer a damn question.
I look
Do you know
forward to
about the
asking
Hannibal
questions in
Directive?
minutes.
Do you know about Israel's nuclear weapons? Everybody from the ICJ. I was sitting here quietly, and now I'm being manhandled by 2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press. You
The fourth
pontificate
one
about
here.
a free press. You are hurting me. You are hurting me.
four.
You are hurting me. I've asked.
It's 3 African American police officers, SPP, PCPC, and 1 Caucasian.
Questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I ask him
Please, sir,
questions.
respect the process. We'll have an opportunity to take
Wasn't the
questions in minutes.
wasn't the point of the
You see, 1, 2, 3, and the 4 one.
May
Look over there, 2 more.
statement to block the ICJ orders? You block the ICJ orders. You
Please, sir, respect the process. Thank you.
respect the process. Respect the process. Well,
So there's 5 African American officers and 1 Caucasian. Who's overrepresented here? And I will explain later why do I point out to that.
everybody from Amnesty International, from Amnesty International to the ICJ is saying that Israel's doing genocide and extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process. Criminal! Why aren't you in the Hague? Why aren't you in the Hague? Why aren't you in the Hague?
All right. Let's pretend we are civilized now. This is the freedom of America, you baboons in Romania. That's what it is. And you talk about Putin, shut your mouths. Now, you may agree with that situation because maybe you want him silenced. But I wonder, when you want someone to speak in behalf of you, would you agree if they would treat him the same way? I guess not. Therefore, I may disagree with what you say, but I will die for your right to say it. That's what it is right here, my friends. Now, why did I point out there were 5 African Americans and 1 Caucasians? Maybe you can say one of them was okay. Nevertheless, because I tell you, usually in a repressive system, you put the people in the law enforcement, in the repressive apparatus, people that have something from a minority, maybe some grievances against the majority group. That's a regular ABC 1, 2, 3 fact to control the masses. Like, for instance, you have, let's say, in Romania. In Romania, you have, 6%, you have Hungarians, you have about 3% Gypsies, you have 1% Germans used to be, and so on. So if you are a repressive system, you would put as many Hungarians and Gypsies in positions of power wherever you tell them. If you have an uprising from the majority of Romanian population, they will not flinch. Why? Because of the love between the Hungarians and Romanians, or the Gypsies and Romanians. That's what you do in the United States of America. You're not going to put, because it's going to be easy to say, I give you an order, shoot in the population, and you're going to say, ho ho, hey, the order comes to do it, and they will do it. Why? It's not their people. If you think that don't think that way, I urge you to read the ABC manuals of crowd control. All right, in the system. And that's the same thing is here. Now, I don't know if those guys were hired over there because they were good or bad, or, maybe they were hired because of their meritocracy. They were good. That's fine. But then I don't want to hear you crying, hey, we are underrepresented. They were definitely overrepresented over there. Just to mention equity, inclusion, and diversity. That's what they mean. All right, so what do you think, my friends? I went to Romania a few years ago, and I met some old acquaintances, and they still think the Americans are the pinnacle of the free mass media and freedom of the press. And I was thinking, you've been to the United States of America, you lived over there for years, and you're still like, yeah. No, my friends, no, that's not true. That's not true. Remember, if you agree with that, then I will agree when your guy wants to ask question my guy, and my people will remove your guy that you want him to ask my guy a question, and see if you like it. I hope that happens to you. Well, actually, I hope nothing happens like this to anybody. But this is the freedom. You cannot ask a question. You can ask, yes. Why? We're going to play ball. And they talk about communism. They talk about Putin and the Russians and the freedom of the press. I remember someone, a colonel in the security forces in Romania. He told me a long time ago, he said, after I've been to Romania, Jesus Christ, to United States of America, and he said, American media, you know who lies the most? The Americans. I was like, come on, man, you work in the security forces, and obviously you are a communist, and you are, a skewed guy. You're a bad dude. No, he was right. Well, my friends, you didn't like this video? I don't give a shit. Just remember it. Next time when they point the finger to anybody, they are as low as everybody else. The only thing is next is that journalist to be shot or incarcerated. That's next. That is next. And if it becomes too uncomfortable, I guarantee you they will find something to get him incarcerated. I guarantee you. They found in those guys that trespassed at the Capitol. They said it was insurrection. Remember the Proud Boys guy? The black Cuban, let's put it this way. Remember he was incarcerated for what, 24 years? For sedition, trying to secede. Remember those guys when they seceded legally from the Union? What happened with the guys after that? They didn't hang them. They did not hang them. They went back into the Congress and they were again elected officials. Nothing happened to them. How many people died? 600,000 brave, I was about to say Romanians, Americans in the so-called Civil War. And the guys who were up there, they just business as usual after that. Read into that. The same here. They are going to use our groups fighting with one another, and they are just going to stay over there civilized, and Blinken is going to be a respected guy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm so angry, I can't tell you. Maybe, I know, you can see it. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.